about the bashrc, which is the file that controls the way that your terminal looks as you're going through things. So right now, my bashrc is totally empty, which means that I'm dealing with the default version of what my terminal would normally look like. And so the first thing that we want to do is look at the colors that we can do. So if we look at colors, we can tell that these are all the different colors that we could do for the terminal. And so the way that this tutorial is going to work is I'm just going to slowly add things to my .bashrc so we can see what changes what as we go. So I'm going to say cat colors and then append to the .bashrc. So now my .bashrc has these colors at the top, but having them there doesn't really do anything because I can't actually use them for anything yet. But one of the things that I do like is that my bashrc, I like to have a frowny face if it works and a smiley face if it works and a frowny face if it doesn't. And so this one line of code will do that for me. So I also want to append this to my .bashrc so we can see that it's there. bashrc. Huh, it's not there. Oh wait, it is. My select is just didn't get the new line, so I want to add the new line character to it. So I need the new line character, and I also want to add new line character at the end here. So now those two things together still won't do anything. What we need is to look at the PS1, and the PS1 is what remaps your command line prompt for you. So you can see from this that looks like I'm going to have some blue, some green, some normal, and then select, which is the frowny face, smiley face, green, and then purple. So I want to do cat PS1 to my .bashrc. And if I go look at the bashrc, I can tell that my PS1 is now at the bottom. And again, I want to add new line character to this so that next time I append, it goes all right. And so in order to get things to refresh, I have to push the bashrc to the terminal so it actually works. So I do that by source.bashrc. And now you can tell that my prompt looks totally different. My name is in blue, the computer is in green, and then my words that I type are in purple, and as well I have my prompt on a new line. I like to do that because if everything is on one line, my brain kind of gets overloaded. Okay, so that's really nice. The next thing that we want to look at are aliases. So vi, let me look and double check to see what I called that file. So I called that file simple aliases. So we're going to look at the simple aliases. So aliases are when you have one thing that gets remapped to another. So like I have an alias that tells me what is on the printer queue for LW301 and another alias for when I want to remove everything from 301 in case it gets blocked. So I'm going to append those again. So cat simple alias append to .bashrc. So I'm going to look at the bashrc again. And I can tell now that those aliases are there. And I'm going to add new line character again to avoid the confusion like last time. So now I need to do source again so that my changes actually get applied. And so now when I do printer, it tells me no entries, which means I know that there's no entries for LW301 without me having to type that weird long command. Okay, the next thing that I like is I think that man pages are really hard to deal with because it's just black and white text on a screen. So I would like for my man pages to be colored. And the way that I do that is by looking at doing this for the man pages. So this is the type of thing that's there and then what it maps to. So these mean things like bolded or italicized, and these are the corresponding colors that I want them to be. So I'm going to, again, cat that and append it to my bashrc. And if we look at the bashrc, we can tell that those things do get put there. And I'm going to add an extra new line character like we did last time. And so if I do source.bashrc, like before, to push the change into the terminal. Now whenever I man vim, I have nice blue highlighting that happens so that I can actually tell where things are visually much more easily, which I love that. Okay, so the final thing that we're going to look at is having colored grep and colored ls, because I think those two things being colored can be really helpful. So right now, if I do ls, they're just all one color, and if I did grep for like hello and all of these files, I still get this like not colored output. And also, if I wanted to really do this, I would do rn, because it was the recursive and with the new line characters telling me the line number where things are. But anyway, so I can look at that. See, I got the frowny face because I ended something early, which is super fun, I think. So let's look at the colored output now. That is just a simple alias from ls to colored ls, and from grep to colored grep. So I'm going to go ahead and do cat colored output and append that to my dash bashrc. Look at the bashrc again just to make sure everything looks right. And there are our aliases that we just added in for colored output. And so now again we have to do source.bashrc. And so now when I do ls, I have colored ls. So plan files are this gray color, and directories are that blue color, and certain types of extensions are this green color. So I can visually tell what's going on, and PDFs are purple. So I can look at this list and immediately tell where the PDFs are and where the other types of files are. So that's really, really nice. So this is my personal bashrc. Other people do some other different things. This bashrc is actually on the GitHub for Lean-In. So you can go to GitHub under base CS knowledge, and then I think it's under the command line folder. We'll have this exact bashrc file. So enjoy!